Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm James C. Drone, and with me tonight is my great friend and Twitch streamer, HunterTehGamer.
Hey, what's up, HunterTehGamer, 6'4", 200 pounds of pure muscle. You already know. It's nice to be here, James.
Oh man, it's so nice to have you here this evening. I'm happy I'm not alone on episode 2 of this podcast.
It's going great so far. I've enjoyed the first episode, and I'm glad to be your second guest. Second the best. I was a middle child growing up, so I think number 2 is kind of like my life story. Not number 2 like that, though.
I was
okay?
gonna say,
I don't
number
stink,
2 is
okay?
my life story, dude.
Delmer stinks. Anyways, hi Delmer. Go on.
What?
It's a friend. It's a friend. It's okay.
This is the awkward shit I cut in episode 1.
That's fine,
where
dude.
it's like me
Awkward
stammering
works.
in between nonsense.
You know what's awkward this year, man? This year's been pretty awkward.
This year's been really, really awkward. Are you coping all right?
I mean, I have had to take multiple COVID tests being here in the dorms. It's nice because I got accepted to be like the hall monitor, the resident assistant, whatever you call it, of like.
Oh,
the
are you allowed
dorms.
to
But-
announce that now?
Yeah, sure. Hey, boys, I'm a hardworking man.
Hell yeah.
Not officially, I still have to file paperwork, but me and Mikasa here, hey, we got a new home, so it's working out just fine. So.
Yo, Mikasa, Sukasa. You living in a dorm
Okay,
now.
settle down, man. Hey. Hey, go.
It's a shitty Italian joke. I'm Italian. I gotta make that
Wait,
one.
Sukasa, isn't that like Spanish?
You might be right.
My house is your house?
My
Yeah.
house is your house. Yeah, maybe that is Spanish. Fucking, I'm not a linguistic expert. I'm just in it for the lols.
Okay, yeah. You just offended all your Spanish-speaking fans.
To all my Spanish-speaking
Mi nombre
fans.
es Hunter the Gamer.
Me love you.
I could do Japanese too, but we won't go to that, James. We won't go to
Nani?
that. I like that.
That's about all I got.
Yeah.
I have a friend who speaks Japanese, and she tried to teach me some, and I couldn't pick it up.
That's cool. I wish I had one of those when I was in Japanese
One of
class.
those.
Probably would have. I mean, it would have been much easier because Japanese classes, at least for me, because I'm on a turn-based system here at the University of Oregon. I'll leak it. I go to school at the University of Oregon. Whatever.
Whoa, do we have to
big
bleep
deal.
this?
No, it's fine. We don't have to believe it.
Really?
But no, it's fine.
I don't know.
If you know what school I
thought-
go to. I posted on
well-
my Twitter, my
okay.
Twitch.
Weird.
Yeah, no,
I don't post any of that shit because I'm like, stay away.
I'm more open, I guess. But so
good.
we're on a turn-based system, so things go by really fast. And so when you're trying to learn a language, and especially when I was like 19 at the time, or 20.
Oh shit.
So it's a 20-year-old learning a new language while trying to balance out other classes is kind of a bad thing, which I learned. I started off pretty good, but then it went to the second year and wasn't looking so hot, so dropped that. But I'm extremely interested in like actually visiting Japan, maybe working in Japan, and going and visiting a lot of spots. So yeah.
I mean, learning a new language at that age in general is kind of hard. I feel like our brains are more programmed to absorb that kind of information at a younger age, you know? So like when you get to be 20, you don't pick it up as fast. It doesn't stick with you for as long. It's definitely more challenging, I would say, the older you get.
Yeah, if I was doing a language right now with the class schedule and like all the stress and with code and everything, like I don't even know if I like would want to do it or like could have even done one term like I did before.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and dude, respect to anyone out there who's maybe in high school, maybe in college, who's learning a new language because or learning two. I think learning two is a lot more challenging than just learning one because
I would say it depends on the two.
But the thing is, though, is that like if I'm going from, because I learned Spanish for 3 years with honors, by the way, I was kind of a big deal. I still am.
I learned French for 3 years. I didn't know shit by the end.
So there's like certain ways on how you like speak the language, but then with Japanese, it's like let's just take everything you know with any language you learned and just like flip everything upside down, and like you're learning new words, and so
you're learning
like,
that they have like 3 languages for different things.
Yeah, and so you go to like that part of your brain where it's like, oh, the like language retention kind of part, and you start to like mix Spanish or like Spanish, how you say things in Spanish with Japanese, as much as those are 2 very different languages. Like when you're learning those kind of at like a similar time, you start to like apply rules to one language to another because
Yeah,
there's a lot of rules for that. So hey, shout out to anyone out there who's doing two languages or even one for that
I'd
matter.
meant more
It's
like
pretty
Western
tough.
Romance languages. Like if you're learning like Spanish and French, there's a lot of I've noticed there's a lot of crossover with those
Hmm.
languages. That makes them a little easier to kind of dual learn. I mean, of course, there are like confusions you can make, but from people I've talked to, those two are the least difficult to learn together if you have to
Hmm.
learn two languages together. But no, absolutely props to anyone who's pulling that off. I have English and sometimes gibberish, and that's all I got.
Yeah, I speak pretty fast. I have a lot of things on my mind, so sometimes what I say gets like even English, man. Like I
Oh
think I'm pretty
yeah.
good at writing, but like when it comes to speaking, I'll say one thing and then be like, "Oh, I'm thinking about some other thing," and then it just all gets like mixed up, jumbled up. So
Yeah, I'm like
language is
speaking
difficult.
dyslexic sometimes. I don't even know that's fucking possible, but seems like
Which speaking about speaking, when you live stream, you have to speak a lot, and it's crazy to think that like you could stream for like 3 hours at a time and like how anyone is able to do it. Like I would play like VN's virtual novels for anyone who has actually played those. Doki Doki Literature Club is probably like I guess like the most like
that's probably the most
popular or
like
like
popular mainstream
yeah,
example.
like
Yeah.
mainstream example, and that's like a play on a virtual novel, so that's not even like a core one. Like
Yeah.
Kadoa Shoujo is like probably like a really core mainstream kind of virtual novel. And when you have to
Is Danganronpa a virtual novel?
I think it's like a mix between the two. I know a lot of people
Okay.
out
A
there.
lot of
There's a lot
people are
of
really into that, especially in my
so
audience.
don't hate me if I say if it's a mix or not, Danganronpa fans.
I don't
So
know
please
anything.
don't
They'll be fine.
hey dude, don't hurt me. I haven't played those games. I will eventually, but yeah. But when you're playing a game like that and you're constantly having to speak as and like kind of talk about the game as well as actually like saying the voices for certain characters and you go for
Oh,
like 4 hours, there's times where like there's an incident where I actually like essentially lost my voice. There was like something like in my throat where like
weird.
it almost felt like there was
Shit.
like a flap in my throat because of like how much I was speaking. And I
Hmm.
remember still streaming through those like still
Yeah.
streaming, except I was like, okay, I gotta only stream for like an hour because I literally like if I talk, it doesn't necessarily hurt. It just feels really uncomfortable. Should have got it probably checked out, but it went away
Yeah.
after like a week. That's like the 21-year-old mindset where it's like if you have a problem and it goes away after a week, it probably won't come back kind of a thing. I mean, I don't know. I
We're
don't want to
young.
speak for
We
all
never
20.
die.
Yeah, that kind of a thing. I don't want to speak to like 20-year-olds or whatever out there, but
I know what you
yeah,
mean.
we're a group where it's like, oh, if something's not broken or we don't think we're gonna die, we're probably not gonna die, and it works 99% of the time. But obviously, there's some cases where shit happens, and yeah, so be more diligent when it comes to that. I need to be more diligent when it comes to
Self care in
when we're
general is a
talking.
fucking hard thing to manage at our age. Because we're like, we got so much shit we want to get done. And it's like, no, some days, like, I did literally nothing today. And sometimes you just have to have a day where you don't do anything. And you just, like, well, I didn't take care of myself, so I'm a bad example. But where you have a day where you just take care of yourself. Um, Once again, I'm a bad example of that practice. But I don't know. That's something just important, I think, to kind of put out there is that it's fine to not always be doing stuff all the time.
I mean, it's tough with COVID right now, especially like with my situation. So like during the summer, basically wasn't doing anything. I was filming a show, which we might talk about later, and basically live streaming, not as much because of the show, but
Hmm.
still live streaming. So like my life was just wake up, like watch anime, record for my show, kind of do housework maybe, and that was pretty much it. But now that I'm back in
Dude,
school,
that sounds
plus
nice.
with job now with a ton of responsibility, it's like every single day is like I'm having to plan out things. Like Google Calendar is a really big help because it's like I can plan stuff out. And basically, I'm the kind of guy where like before I go to bed, I'll kind of be like, okay, here's what I need to do tomorrow in order to get everything possible done. And if there's something where I could be like, oh, I can maybe half finish this like project assignment and like push it off, like I probably shouldn't do that, but if I have to, last
Of
resort kind of a
course.
thing. I'm always thinking like 2 steps ahead when it comes to that, and that's incredibly draining because, yeah, especially with COVID, it's like there's there's so much. I mean, any student right now is probably going through
Yeah, my
one of the
heart fucking
hardest.
goes out for any
Yeah,
student out
one
there.
of the. I thought the spring was a bit difficult, but at the same time, it seemed like not a lot of people knew what was kind of going on during the spring, in terms of like schoolwork, and so everything was kind of put to them like the least amount of work possible. But then come fall term now, it feels like there's more work than ever because everyone's just kind of like, oh, we know how to do this now, so let's assign classwork that should have been done in class, but we'll assign it as homework. Plus you have homework, plus you have lab homework, plus you have lab work, and it's like there's just so much stuff. And then plus with IRL responsibilities, it's been hard to live stream and like produce content because basically my days are like wake up at like 11, 12, and basically work from then all the way until like 8, 9 o'clock. And at 8, 9 o'clock, it's like, well, this is kind of a bad time to stream. Plus, I haven't gotten any like my own time throughout the day. So it's hard. It's hard. It's something that definitely I'm gonna have to learn to balance so
Time
that I can get back
balancing
to streaming.
is
So,
is really difficult. Yeah. On the subject of streaming, I think it's one thing that interests us both, and something we both were really into, and that's I think how we kind of met each other was through that because we both live stream.
mhm.
I started in 2016, July 27th, I think, streaming, but I know that I kind of got into that, and I started on the PS4 actually, just using the built-in streaming. I played a lot of like Battlefront and Assassin's Creed and stuff, and that was a really fun, a really good outlet for me, and a way to just like get creative energy out there. But I don't know if I ever really kind of asked you how you started out. What drove you at the beginning? Because you started a long time ago, right? When did you start, man?
Yes. So basically, my brother was like a big gamer, played a lot of games. World of Warcraft was that big game. And so when you're
Ooh,
in that,
that's a
when you're
time
like
vampire.
OG, oh, like OG WoW too. We're talking like
Oh shit,
2006,
like
2007,
vanilla.
like vanilla WoW, Burning
Woo!
Crusades.
Some
So,
bitch.
so
That's crazy.
I played a little of it too, not as much as him. I felt bad because it was like a paid subscription. It
Let our
was like 10
audience
bucks
know,
a month.
Horde or Alliance.
I was Alliance, dude. I was an elf. My brother
Someone,
called himself
someone
Austin
out
Elf,
there
and
is
I
gonna
was
be
Hunter
pissed
Elf.
right now.
Yeah, Horde, settle down, man. I don't even know what they're doing. The Horde, get the hell out of here, man.
Dude, I remember
I'm not
coming
with
out of a
them.
theater after the Warcraft movie came out, and there were a bunch of fucking like big burly bearded men, and like they were in like two camps, and half of them were like Horde, and half of them were like Alliance,
Yeah, I
and they were
spit
like
on the
fuck
Horde,
you,
dude.
no, fuck, and it was just
Uh,
like outside the movie theater. It was the fucking weirdest
um,
shit to see a bunch of big old like they were like 37-year-old nerds who clearly like World of Warcraft had been a big part of their lives.
Yeah, so World of Warcraft was a big part of my brother's life, so much so that he started to do content creation stuff when it came to that because when you're on WoW, you're online, and when you're online, you're basically at like the forefront of like what's going on. So much so that my brother actually found out before anyone in the family, before even the news reported it, when Michael Jackson died. They actually
Oh
reported
shit.
it in WoW
When
that
was
a
that?
Michael Jackson guy, I think 2008 maybe,
Wow, that's
I
more recent
think.
than I thought. I felt
Yeah,
like it was
so
before then, but that's just a
so
long
they were
time
talking
ago.
about it in like WoW chat that Michael Jackson died, and he told
Wow.
my mom, and they weren't even showing it on the news yet. So that's how like advanced World of Warcraft was when it came to news and like just like the internet and knowing and stuff. So found out about YouTube through there, and he started posting videos, and I was kind of introduced to him because of him posting videos, and I was like, hey, what you doing? I'm a middle child, so I always kind of like looked up to my brother Austin. Shout out Austin if you're watching this. I basically like was like, oh, I want to be a part of like this like whole computer video game kind of
Yeah.
like culture or whatever. And so he recorded videos on game cam. Him and his friend Jake at the time, they would do like game cam videos. And so 13 years ago is when I posted my first video. It was a fear spoof video out there. The channel's called McBlath. That's M
Does it
C
still
B
exist?
L
Is it
A
still
T
out
H.
there?
It's still out there. It still exists. So if you want to look this up, you'll
McPlath?
find
What was that?
McBlath.
McBlath.
McBlath. Yeah.
Was
So
that a Macbeth
uh,
character? Sounds
I
like it
don't know.
could be.
I think my I don't even know how I even came up with that name.
Like, did you sound like a bad lisp, and you were like, "You're about to get McBlasted."
I don't know.
Put you bitches on McBlast.
I wish I could tell you why I chose that name, but it kind of stuck with me for like a couple years. So I did a Fear Spoof video. I did 2 WoW videos where all I did was I would type in like dance, and I would like the fucking Alliance character or whatever would dance, and I would put copyrighted music at the time over it from like iTunes. And so that's how I got started. I essentially would make more channels on throughout, like Movie Star McBlath 2 was a channel that came out.
Ooh.
The Scarful, which was a really edgy channel, came out.
Edgy.
So you can look up these...
edgy for however old you were then.
Yeah.
Is any of it anywhere near edgy now? Like, does any of that still hold up?
It's really weird. I posted a video on one of my channels where it was a coupon for like $1 off, like a Carl's Jr. hamburger. It was like one of the weirdest
Hardee's for
videos.
you East Coasters.
Yeah, it was really weird. And so I did that right when YouTube was first starting, right when like Smosh and was first coming on the scene, and Smosh being in Sacramento was like a big thing too. It was like, whoa.
Was Smosh in Sacramento?
Yeah, Smosh lived in Sacramento. So me being a Cali kid, the coast of Sacramento, I was like, that's super cool.
I never got into Smosh.
Hey, more you know to anyone out there who didn't know that. Yeah. And so basically around the 7th grade, I remember going on a walk with my dad and being like, I want to take YouTube content creation, not even live stream at the time.
That wasn't even really a thing at the time.
Yeah.
It was like Justin TV, but that wasn't as big.
Yeah. So I was like, that's what we're going to do. I want to do this. Support. I remember my first video that I posted after that talk with them was a video with my like microphone up to my face being like, hi, my name is Hunter. Here's my Team Fortress 2 video. And it was like really cringy looking back at it. But I kept posting, and I got like, I'm not going to say a decent sized audience, a very small audience, probably to like the size of, I mean, someone noticed
like how many people
in TF2. I think it was like 400 or 500 people. Which is pretty small, but for an
compared to your audience now, that's not bad.
Yeah,
compared to my audience now, not bad.
So I got noticed on Team Fortress. So the game I play was Team Fortress 2. That's how I kind of got started.
Yeah.
So Team Fortress 2 was my game. I did everything TF2. I consider myself pretty good at TF2, so much so that we competed in this like really high level league. We never won a single game. We've only won because we got forfeit games thrown at us.
Ooh.
Shout out to my friend Nick again, who also got one of our wins because he complained to the admins about the other team being dicks. So I started doing that, and then basically I've been like HunterTehGamer ever since. So that channel, the Team Fortress 2, was HunterTehGamer. The name HunterTehGamer is really weird because it's just Hunter the Gamer, but instead of the was like an internet thing at the time. It's really weird now.
That's a weird internet thing. I still don't get that. Like why they just fucked up the spelling and we're like, haha, it's funny now.
Yeah,
it's HunterTehGamer.
That's funny, man.
I don't know.
But yeah, so HunterTehGamer was where that was at.
And you kind of stopped posting on YouTube after a while, didn't you?
Yeah, you
went on a long hiatus.
Yeah,
you never came back.
The HunterTehGamer story is full of hiatuses where I would post. I would like the feedback I was receiving.
You mean TEF feedback?
Yeah, TEF feedback.
Dumb
I like
joke.
that. Dude, yeah. How many times you can use TED instead of the in this, dude? There's got to be a counter. Someone in the comments count how many times TED is used in this.
Someone in tech comments.
Yeah, okay.
Don't forget to like the video.
Yeah, so basically a bunch of hiatuses.
Yeah.
And so, but what interested me though was I was a fan of Twitch. Was it Twitch then, or it was Twitch then because I would play this game Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's still like a really big game.
Counter-Strike or CS:GO?
I started off with Counter-Strike Source.
Okay.
But then it led into CS:GO. So I started watching people like because I was really into the pro scene and I was really into esports. I think esports even now, like I'm repping a Team Solo mid jersey with Bjergsen on the back. He's a elite player.
I thought that was Scooby-Doo. I thought the M was a D from my angle. So I thought it was SD. I thought I'm rocking the James T. Drone shirt over here, but I thought you were rocking like some Scooby-Doo merch, dude. I was fucking excited. I was gonna call it out.
We gotta cover up these plugs, man. No free sponsors on James's stream.
None.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for James T. Drone. Go get this. Oh wait, no, this is the old shirt. You can't even get this anymore.
Yeah, buy whatever merch is out. Maybe you're watching this in 2 years after. Maybe I'm like insanely big, or James is insanely big now, and you're watching this from the past, wondering
There'll
how
be some new
James
merch in
got his start.
February, maybe this month. I don't know. I'm tired.
Yes. So where was I at? So I was really into watching professional Counter-Strike, and
Yeah.
then people would be like, "Oh, in order to watch these tournaments, you got to go on Twitch." And I started to fall in love with Twitch. Wanted to do live streaming with it, but wasn't really able to like continuously do
Hmm.
it. Then the affiliate program came out in, I think it was like 2019, and during that time I was on my gap year because I took a gap year to move to Oregon
Yeah.
to go to the University of Oregon, obviously, and tuition is out of state is incredibly expensive,
Hmm.
and so we decided as a family to move here to get in-state tuition. Thank my family for that because that's saving me, and them, and everyone a lot of money. And so during my gap year, I really didn't have anything to do because I was trying to work. I applied at places. I interviewed at one place, didn't get anything back, which is surprising because I haven't worked until now. So now this is my I'm a big kid now. I'm actually working, but yeah, I just did Twitch, and the second I did a live stream, it got good reception, and I kept doing it. And I think I was like on the second day, I got like $100 donation or something, which was like insane. I was like, what? Like this is a thing. And so I kept
I think that's more
kept
money
doing
than
it.
I've still made from streaming, if I'm
Dude,
being
yeah, and so I
honest.
kept doing it, and it was enough to give me money all throughout college. So, yeah, obviously it's not really provide as much money now because I'm not really doing it that much, but it was a nice experience. It was something where I found a good community within, like I guess the anime Osu kind of community,
Yeah,
and
this boy plays a wicked game of Osu, so fucking go. Wait, you haven't done that in a while, have you? I was gonna say go check him out, but
not really. The thing with Osu is that I mean, it's really the same game, but with just like different maps.
yeah.
I like playing it when there's like new anime that comes out and like the openings, which is just the songs, like the intro songs or whatever. Those new ones will come out, and so I'll go and like play maps, like beat maps, where it's kind of
Yeah.
like Guitar Hero if you've never played Osu, but with your mouse, you got to like click at a certain time and it to the music, and go
I
look up
might
Osu
I
if you
might
haven't.
show little Osu just in the background here.
Okay, yeah. So that's the game. That's the game that kind of got me a little relevance in the community, and I would host tournaments,
It's your little
really
niche.
scuffed tournaments, incredibly scuffed tournaments. Like I'd have people who were like top 50, top 100 at this game, which was like a really big deal because there's like millions of people who play it,
Yeah.
playing these tournaments, and some good reception, some bad reception because I barely knew what I was doing, but I really liked hosting them.
I was gonna say I feel like
Uh,
the top 50 people like they just win. Like everybody else is like doesn't have a
that's what
fucking
would
chance
happen.
at that
Yeah,
point. Yeah,
that's what would happen.
I would
They
be a
would
little
farm.
bit
Yeah,
pissed if I didn't feel like I even had a chance at a
but
fucking tournament.
but those top 50 people, if you look at their profile now, it says winner of Hunter the Gamer Battle Royale tournament. So hey, guess what? Hey, we got. Hey, at least I know
You're
now
a
that
name in a
I've
profile somewhere.
I've been ingrained in OSU history, that's for sure.
Hell yeah.
But kind of going back, yeah, I've I'm still in love with esports, anime, all that stuff, and so that's what continues to make me live stream. I mean, I went to school to try to be like an esport journalist.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't work out because the journalism program. We could talk about that for like fucking like.
That's its
Sorry,
own
my
that's
bad,
its
my
own
bad. That's its
conversation we
own
might not get into
podcast.
tonight.
Yeah,
That's yeah.
yeah, still part of me wishes that
Yeah.
it was better because I would love to be like one of those analysts or someone interviewing someone at like a League of Legends tournament, Counter-Strike tournament. That's still part of me that I wish I could do, but now I'm a finance guy,
Maybe
maybe a
someone will
law
see
guy
this
at the
video
end.
and see your personality and they'll just be like so into it. They're like, we gotta have this man
I
in
hope
our
so, man.
CSGO.
That'd be
Also,
so
sorry I
cool.
sound shit,
Holy.
everyone. My fucking nasal passage is all blocked up. So, I picked a great day to record this.
Yeah, pray for the drone.
Pray
Pray
for
for
the
the
my little dronelings.
pray
Pray
for
for
the drone.
me. I wanted to say though, so you talked about how anime was one of the things you're really into, and I see
Hmm.
behind you, I see a Cowboy Bebop poster.
It is true. Yeah,
There's
love
also a
Cowboy Bebop.
Mikasa pillow and
Yeah,
slime, but
yeah. Thank you.
more
I can bring her
importantly,
up for this.
More importantly, there's a
Yes,
Cowboy
James.
Bebop poster.
Yeah. Sure. There's one. There's one right there that you can't really see. It's like tilted at an angle.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Spike
It's cool though.
smoking
It's
and
take his
holding a
word for
glass.
it. Maybe I'll post a little picture of it right here, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've seen it and you've seen it, and I actually showed it to my mom not quite a year ago. It was within the last year, and she absolutely loved it and has talked up more praise even since then. But I wanted to ask, what are your favorite couple episodes, 2 or 3 episodes, and what do you just generally think the show does really well?
Okay, so probably okay. Obviously, for a lot of people, the best episode is Ballad of the Fallen Angels, which is that's where they introduce kind of like the main antagonist. The thing with Cowboy Bebop is that it's so appealing to like a non-anime like mainstream audience
Yeah.
because it's like it has this mix of sci-fi, like cyberpunk,
But it's very
kinda
grounded
like,
too in its own world. Like you can really
it's
connect with the characters, no matter who you are.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. You're introduced to the Bebop crew, and new members come along. Some not even till like the very end, but you really begin to like sympathize and fall in love with some of these characters. But definitely Battle of the Angels because the like main antagonist is introduced in that episode, and it makes everyone closer because you can look the like
Wasn't
girl
that
there,
a part
Faye
1, part
Valentine.
2?
Um,
Am I
I.
wrong about that?
I think that was just a solo one, but there are part one and part twos out there.
Because that's
Um,
with what's his name?
there's Vicious, and
Vicious. That's
then
what I was thinking of.
yeah,
Is that the one? Slight spoilers, I guess. So cover your ears for the next couple seconds. Is that the one where they meet up and confront each other in the church? Like it
yes,
starts with him killing like the crime boss, and then this is obviously major spoilers.
yeah,
I'm just
dude.
gonna post. I'm gonna post a little spoilers thing down below, and then I'll
Yeah,
remove it after
yeah,
my
yeah,
words.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
But
then he falls out of the. Anyway, yeah. All right,
okay.
we're
So
good. We're back now.
another one of my favorite
Okay.
another one of my favorite episodes is when they go to Venus, and there's that like one episode. I think there's like a lo-fi like track based off of like that one episode alone. That episode is really cool because you're kind of introduced to this like new character that like really idolizes Spike in the way he like
I was gonna
he
ask
essentially calls him like
spoilers. Is that the one where they meet the guy who's a girl?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think
Which
that's the one. Maybe it is.
is that
Uh,
because
well,
he's looking for what's her name? His girl. Or am I thinking
yeah,
of a
I think so.
totally different planet?
Okay. Well, anyways, maybe someone in the comments or whatever can confirm. But I think that's a really good episode.
Yeah.
I won't go into it too much, but that's a really good one. The one where there's this guy like owns a like a carnival. I forget what, but like they fight at like an amusement park.
Mm.
That's a really good episode. That's like a solo.
Oh,
like,
that's when I
off
can't
episode.
even. Okay, we gotta say spoilers again because we need to talk about that one a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
That's the one with the guy who's the deadly assassin who has like a child's brain in an assassin's body.
Yeah,
And he has like a primal fear of cats because that was like what they like trained him in the lab, and he's like invincible to kill. And it ends with him him crying and getting like stepped on by like a giant animatronic at a carnival.
Yes.
Oh my god, that one's
That
so
is-
good. And he could just like fucking float because you had like anti-gravity like shit. I don't know. That one was fucking weird but cool. Oh, and the one with the like time vampire with the harmonica. The little boy who's like taking
Okay.
control.
I know what you're talking about.
This
I know-
is all
I know- yeah.
spoilers. I'm just gonna leave a big old spoilers
Yeah,
thing down
no,
below during
okay,
this
so
entire
anyways.
conversation.
Yeah, no, but yeah, no, I really love the character. That's a show where there's like you could honestly, it's the perfect Toonami show. If you know what Toonami is,
What is
Toonami was on
Toonami?
Toonami was on Cartoon Network late at nights instead of having like your adult-based shows like your Family Guys or stuff like that. It would have just anime, and so Cowboy Bebop was a show that would premiere on Toonami. Maybe not premiere on Toonami, but like air on Toonami, and it still does some like weeks out of the month, and that was the show where you could just put like one episode
You can
on
watch one
from
episode on its own,
you go
and it
on its own,
stands alone.
and yeah, it's such a good show. The characters, Spike, Jet, Faye, Ein, and Ed, love them all.
By the way,
Such a good show.
for anybody maybe who's not ready for anime, it can be a little. If I know you say that it's one of those shows that's really good with the English dub. I'm a guy who personally likes subtitles, but if you're just not ready for anime, it can get a little fast paced sometime. Wait. If you're not ready for anime, I would suggest, ladies and gentlemen, watch Firefly first, because these two shows are similar in a lot of ways. A, they both only went on for one season. B, they're about a crew on a ship that goes on adventures around the galaxy. Small bounty hunter adventures, I might add. And they came out around the same time. But yeah, watch Firefly, and then let that kind of get you into the tone, and then watch Cowboy Bebop, and it's excellent. Now you can talk.
First,
now you can suck the dick of how good
settle
the
down.
dub is.
No, I'm not like that. To my friends, okay, I'm just not going to say anything. But first of all,
you can if you want to.
Okay, the English dub for Cowboy Bebop, I am usually not a dub guy. I mean, I was first getting into anime, but obviously now you start to realize that like usually the subs are
the English voices sound a little weird sometimes.
But like the dub for Cowboy Bebop is phenomenal, and I think it's, my opinion, better than the sub. I forget. I need to look this up right now because it's gonna make
That's the one with what?
Mad.
Steve Bloom.
Steve Bloom does a fantastic job as Spike, and is such a memorable voice.
I almost met Steve Bloom.
I'm gonna overwrite James.
I didn't, but I almost did.
I would love to meet. He retweeted one of my tweets, so that makes me.
He was at SAC Anime, but I didn't go that day because I wasn't feeling well.
Man, dude, I love Steve Bloom. He's such an iconic voice in anime. I'm overwriting James. I'm overwriting the host. Watch the dub of Cowboy Bebop.
I didn't say don't watch the dub. I just said I tend to prefer. I was just saying I tend to prefer subtitles, and there might be others who are like that. You have obviously promoted the dub, so the dub is worth watching. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, if you're like, give it a watch, but also if you like watching anime with subtitles and you're not ready for the subtitles, I was just saying watch Firefly first, because that's more of an American show, and that will transition you, I think, into Cowboy Bebop, just in terms of the tone and characterization and that kind of thing. Obviously, they're just similar shows. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Now you got me thinking though about amazing Cowboy Bebop episodes, of which there are so many. The other one that mainly came to mind was I think it's called Brain Drain, with like the mind cult.
Yes, I know what you're talking about now.
So fucking good. Oh my god,
dude! Just like
every episode is fucking memorable, like for its own. Well, first because there aren't that many, and second just because it's so good.
Okay, and one thing too, which is like my biggest flaw when it comes to watching a show, is I'll watch 1 or 2 episodes and I'll stop watching it because I'll be like, I'll watch it later. That's pretty much how I got started with every single show I've ever watched, where it's like, oh, I'll just watch this, and then I come back later and I was like, wow, I was an idiot for not finishing it then. But the first episode of Cowboy Bebop, it was like, wow, like this was cool, but it gets better. Please, do not just stop at episode 1 and be like, wow.
Is the first episode with the red eye drug? Is that the first one?
Yes.
Yeah, that one was just kind of meh.
Yeah, and so it's like, that's kind of what I thought of it too. It was just okay. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't continue.
I would say it's
thankfully continued.
The episodes individually are good, but I think they're amplified and made even better because of the characterization, because you become so much more attached to each of these characters. Like Faye obviously gets her own sort of build out as a character. I'm not going to spoil individual character stuff, but Faye gets developed as a character. I spoiled a couple episode plots, but I'm putting up spoiler brackets for those, so it should be fine.
Okay. And we didn't spoil too much. There's so much to that show where
literally, like, even this, if you like don't care about spoilers and you've heard the spoilers we said, you'll still enjoy the show just because it's such a great show.
Like that.
And there's
that
so many
shows,
things
like,
that you'll still be surprised by too.
that show's content is like as thick as this, as thick as like all these books. I got the JoJo's at the front stacked on top of each other. It's like there's so much stuff to work with.
In
where
one
if you're just,
season.
yeah, it's like where if you're told something, it's like that. Unless it's probably like the last scene of the last episode, then it probably won't impact your experience by any means.
Wow, no spoilers, nothing.
Don't spoilers. No, don't spoil. Yeah, no.
There's certain
don't
things
be
I would
that guy.
spoil. No. I want to say too, with that show, it is something really well, which is just like great world building. Like there's so much just context in the world. Like there's these group of like old men that keep complaining about like back when they used to dig the whatever, and it's just like all these different little things seeded throughout the world that aren't, some of them aren't even verbal. It's just like a sign on a building. But like, I mean, the art style obviously is beautiful. Isn't it hand drawn? It looks fucking hand drawn and gorgeous. I don't know if it is or not, but it's something about that style looks really, really nice. Really classy. And I think that's the whole show. It just like, it looks really nice. There's a lot of detail in the environments. It feels so lived in and realized. And it does so much with so little. Like even in just one season, you fully feel the world, and I think that's why so many people want it to come back. Do you think it'll come back on Netflix? Do you think they'll actually do that live? We're gonna do a live action.
The live action will work. The tweet that actually got retweeted by the voice actor for Spike Spiegel, Steve Bloom. I said it's hard to, like, being the fan of his I am. It's hard to try to imagine Spike Spiegel not being his voice. It has that kind of like deep.
Sure, that's like if you gave Aang a different voice in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, it does.
Good luck, Netflix, you fuckers.
I mean, Netflix doesn't have a good track record when it comes to anime redone with live action. I mean, we saw that with the.
Was that the like Death Note movie?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I've heard bad things though.
Okay, as someone who considers themselves an anime boy, I've seen parts of Death Note, haven't finished Death Note.
Death Note's good. I like it.
Yeah.
The anime.
Sorry,
I don't know about the movie.
Don't flame me. I'm already being.
You're good.
It's like, but I heard from a friend, Romeo, another shout out Romeo.
Sure.
That it's completely different than the like actual like story, and they just went off on their own like path when it came.
I mean,
to
you
it.
have
It was just
to.
really confusing.
Otherwise, it's invalid. That's something I think is a problem with a lot of remakes and stuff, where it's when you're remaking something, I think you have to justify your remake by making it better. Not as good as, better. Like if they're gonna remake Avatar: The Last Airbender and they're gonna keep that story arc, fuck it, you need to make it better than the source material, because the source material is so good that if you're gonna bother to remake it, you better be remaking it better. And with some things like that, and with Cowboy Bebop, they're so good, I don't think you can do that. So don't remake them. You know, like just add, like I was saying this with, I was talking with my mom about this, because my whole family really loves Avatar. And have you seen the whole show Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I watched it growing up. I remember watching the like live action Avatar when that came out.
That movie's shit.
As a movie, but it's not a show where like I remember too much of it, but I remember watching it and liking it. I definitely need to rewatch it now that it's on Netflix.
It's a really good. It's a really good show, and I was telling her I think something they could do that would be more effective is to set Avatar between, or if they're making a live action show, set it between the cartoon show and Korra, like the characters in their later years. And I think that would be kind of cool to see. Like explore part of the world that isn't explored. That's why The Mandalorian's so great. And I know you haven't finished that yet, but it's so great because it fleshes out this kind of seedy underbelly of the Star Wars universe. So if you're gonna remake something, don't remake it. Just set something in that universe and make it either a continuation of the character's narrative if you can, or do it better if there's something that needs to be done better.
Dude, I was such a Star Wars fan. Now it's like
who fucking cares?
Dude, like man, like I really love the old films. Like even like the stuff they did with Solo. Like I'm a big Harrison Ford fan. He was Han Solo, Indiana Jones. Shout out, my dad, and my sister.
Harrison Ford.
Shout out to Harrison Ford and my dad, and my sister who
if
absolutely
you're watching
love
this
Jones
podcast, Harrison.
Yeah, no,
Shout
I
out.
love you, Harrison. No,
Hope
but
you're enjoying smoking
I'm
weed
shouting out
and
people,
staying
and I feel like
alive.
I need to. There's a lot of people who like help me get to where I am now.
Shout out to my dad,
he
the biggest Star Wars fan I know.
yeah. So my dad and my sister love Indiana Jones, but he was Han Solo, Indiana Jones, like Rick Deckard, in Blade Runner. Like I love Harrison
Oh,
Ford,
is
but I
his
thought
first
that
name Rick?
yeah, I've read the book.
They
And
just always
the
call
book
him
was really
Deckard
good,
in the
too.
movie.
Yeah, the book was really good.
Is it? Oh, that's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, right?
Yes, good book.
Is it better than the movie? Would you say?
Um, I want to say yes, even though like that movie really is good, but I would say yes. I would say that that movie is, or the book is better than the movie. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I definitely need to reread it because when I read it senior year, I
Have you
actually
seen
loved it.
Blade Runner 2049?
Yes.
Okay, what are your thoughts? Because I'll reserve my thoughts until after you speak.
Okay. Well, first okay. Who's the guy who said that? Like, I think it's Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott. Whoever said Deckard was a replicant
Ridley Scott's
or
a
android.
fucking idiot. He needs to get the fuck out because that
Whoever
defeats
said-
the entire. That is Ridley Scott, and everyone disagrees with him because they're like, Ridley, you're a fucking idiot, and you don't know what you're talking about.
Whoever said
that literally ruins it. If he's an android, it ruins the entire thing.
Yeah, dude. This is something I will go to the grave, dude. I don't care if this is written into Blade Runner lore or whatever.
It's
dude,
not.
No way. No way. And I think my teacher, because my teacher, I took a sci-fi class. That's how I read the book. My teacher's on the bandwagon that, yeah, Deckard is an android. Get the hell out of here,
That's
man.
because
like,
the problem is the director's cut makes it seem obvious that he is with the whole fucking unicorn bullshit.
Yeah, my dad.
But that was just like a scene from another movie. It's fucking well. Okay, there were multiple versions originally in theaters. There was the version also with voiceover. Have you seen that?
I think that's the one.
Ass.
I think he watched that version.
It's so bad. Harrison Ford has the most shitty voiceover ever.
I still need to watch that one. I don't know.
Sushi,
about that,
my wife used to call me.
Yeah.
Dead fish. It's so fucking deadpan. It's really dude, they have voiceover over the Tears in the Rain speech, or like right after it. He's like, I don't know why he saved me that day. Maybe because he loved life more than he ever had, but it's so fucking terrible.
Yeah, but
yeah, 2049.
2049, it was okay. I'm just glad they didn't kill off. It was okay. I didn't think it was like a
I'm gonna be honest,
or bad.
I fucking loved it.
I can understand why you would. I love to just
it's
have
slow.
another Blade Runner movie.
I grant you. Maybe even
so long,
at a fucking snail's pace, like sluggish.
Yeah.
But every aspect of it was so rich. The storytelling was so great without characters fucking talking all the time. It's the opposite of episode 9, where characters won't shut the fuck up for 5 minutes and just let plot happen.
Yeah.
It was, oh man, and the world is so rich, and to like just see this desolate world. Obviously it's done in Blade Runner, but like that, I don't know, there felt like more of an interesting story arc, and there were like plot twists, whereas in the original Blade Runner there aren't really plot twists. It's just like things happen. And in like a noir, I feel like you want in a noir to have a detective doing detective shit, which the main guy in the second one is actually like doing detective-y stuff and like trying to investigate.
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen at all in the first one. And there's like different, I don't know, twists and things that happen. I just felt like a big emotional attachment.
Jared Leto's kind of weird, dude.
Jared Leto.
Oh, wasn't he the villain in the film, or the
which
bad
movie?
guy in Blade? Hold on.
I don't
getting this
think
right.
so.
Yeah, Jared Leto, the guy who was the
guy who was the
Blade
Joker
Runner.
and who was in 30 Seconds to Mars.
That's him. Don't act like I don't know what I'm talking about, dude. Blade Runner 24.
Was he the blind guy with the little like droids? Floating around him. He is fucking weird. I didn't know that was him. That's all he does such a good job in that movie of playing a weird, creepy asshole.
Yeah, he's weird.
Have you seen him as the Joker in Suicide Squad?
I've just seen bits and pieces.
I've seen bits and pieces. I refuse to watch that movie too. Good, with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes.
I've heard. I haven't got to it yet. It's on my list.
You need to. My dad.
I don't want to buy it. I don't have any money.
My dad convinced me to watch it.
I'll see it eventually.
I think it's on HBO for
I don't have HBO. It's not for free if it's on HBO.
Well, the thing is on like my Direct TV or whatever. It's like the free premium movies. I don't know if that we have HBO, or I think it might be through a free thing with HBO. But
I don't know. We don't. Anyway,
Yeah. So, yeah, I was okay. I do love my sci-fi movies though. But Star Wars, yep.
sci-fi movies. Have you seen Alien?
Doesn't hit the same. It's been so long since I watched. I like the Alien vs Predator, Aliens,
You
all
like
that
Alien
stuff.
vs. Predator?
I like the original Predator movie
The original
with
Predator
our.
movie, sure, that movie's great, but
eh,
Alien vs. Predator.
no, okay. You like look at me like I said I liked it. I was just listing off
You
movies that
did!
I.
You said I like Alien. Alien vs. Predator. You
Okay,
literally
well,
said... I'm sorry, can we rewind the video?
I like the Alien vs Predator.
Thank you.
okay. If I don't
Anyway.
say it, Pepe laughed. This guy, but yeah. I don't, it's been so long since I watched those movies. I basically watch anime is my thing. I don't watch too many movies now.
It's the opposite for me. I usually watch movies. I can't watch shows anymore. Like, especially long-form shows, I just can't keep up. I don't have the energy or time.
Yeah, I'm watching. I still have like 80 episodes left of Naruto Shippuden, and then watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right now, which is really good. Really would recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I want to
Really funny,
finish
really,
season 3 of
really cool.
Castlevania. That's on my list. And I actually want to go back, and I don't know if it's available anywhere. I want to watch the original season of Dragon Ball with the American voices.
My man, hey, you got a good head on your shoulders, man.
That's kind of probably maybe next, after I eventually get around to. I'm not saying it'll be soon, but next. And then obviously I'm waiting for whenever a new season of One Punch Man decides to apparate out of like descend from the clouds and grace us with its
What
hilarious
about
presence.
Attack on Titan, the final season, December 7th, 2 months from now?
Is it really going to be the final season?
The final season. I think it's going to end around the same time the manga ends. Because the
Cool.
manga is still like in writing, and then
Oh.
they're working on the anime right now.
I gotta say,
which,
things are
comes out
really
2
only
months.
good because they end, you know? I like when things come to a conclusion.
I mean, One Piece. I don't watch One Piece, but One Piece seems like it's pretty good. It
needs
hasn't ended
to
yet.
end.
Shout out Oda. That's another one.
Like half the episodes of One Piece are just filler. But speaking of endings, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is going to be the end of episode 2 of Joking Off, featuring HunterTehGamer. Hunter, would you like to plug anything?
Well, first off, I'd like to give a big shout out to the Anime Boys, the family. Ann and I love you all. But if you want to check me out, I'm on twitch.tv/HunterTehGamer, on twitter.com/HunterTehGamer. I post anime stuff. I comment on anime posts. I try to get liked by League Legends e-girls, and it doesn't work out very well. Yeah, I love talking anime. I love playing games, and yeah, that's where
All right,
that's where you
then.
can
Well,
find me.
that's that. Bye.